Hi boys and girls, today we're going to be creating a birch tree forest, and we might only put 2 trees. You could put 3 trees. I've got a couple of examples here that I've already done. This one's got 3, but I haven't added the extra details on that one. And so to start today, we're going to need a horizon line, and that's just the line where the sky meets the land. So you can start on one side of your paper and do a line that comes across. I don't like mine to be super straight because I don't feel like the ground ever really is. If you want, you can do more than one horizon line. You can just do one, or I'm actually going to do a couple of them. So I'm going to make this one look like it's kind of, the hill is kind of going this way. Maybe this one's a really bigger hill, like that. Okay? Now, within this area, we're going to be creating some birch trees. And so I've used a lot of different kinds of tape, right? You can use anything you want. Masking tape works. It sticks a little bit more. It's a little harder to remove. This is painter's tape, blue painter's tape. I even tried electrical tape. This works pretty good too, actually. It comes off pretty easy. So what you're going to do is you can tear or cut. I'm going to do this to get this nice even edge at the bottom here. And plant your trees, if you will, anywhere in any of these areas. Okay, I think I'm going to put this one in the middle section here, and I'm going to show you. You see how this has kind of a rough bumpy edge here? I'm going to show you how to get that by tearing. Okay, so you could just take a piece of tape and, you know, put it like this. Okay, we could do that. And that would be a pretty good tree, but it's so straight along here. And most real trees, oops, I'm going to take this off again. Most real trees have a little bit of texture on the bark. So what I'm going to do is tear this right down the middle as best I can. I didn't tear exactly down the middle, but I don't care. And I'm going to put that on here instead, like so. Okay. And then I'm going to turn this piece around. So instead of putting it like where it was, I'm going to put it on the opposite side, but I'm going to place it so that, like, I want it to look like my tree doesn't have this smooth edge. And I don't want it to get bigger. So look, if I put it like this, oops, if I were to stick it down like this, it looks like my tree, well, it kind of looks like my tree is kind of growing over to the side, which is okay. What you don't want is you don't want it to look like this. You don't want it to look like your tree is small and then gets bigger at the top. See how that looks bigger at the top? I don't want that. But this, surprisingly, I just realized this could work like this. It just looks like my tree has kind of a bend to it, and I like that. And then you want it to either stay parallel or get a little bit smaller as it goes up, okay? Not a lot, but just a little. So this one just pretty much stays about the same width, and that's okay with me. All right, and I like that this is a little bit different angle here. Just totally straight doesn't always look realistic to me. I might tear this. So here's another thing you could do. You can change the bottom of your tree just by taking some of your scraps. Now, you don't probably want that piece there, so let me rip that off. That could make it look like not realistic, but I like the bottom having a little bit of a change to it. Okay. Now, as I go back, you can see this one's a little bit wider than this one. I'm going to make some skinnier ones back here because as you get further away, things get smaller, right? When you're completely done, definitely check to see that you have your name and class code on the back. Oh, and I just remembered, we're trying to, I just did it here. I'm trying to remember to teach you guys to use the bottom edge, because if we ever needed to flip it over and use the paper again, this would be right in our way, wouldn't it? So if you did what I did and wrote it right in the middle, I want you to erase and move it down to the bottom edge, okay? Because that's going to save our paper, I think. Make it more usable for if we need to do a redo, okay? And of course, you can always trim these off the top if you want to. And then that goes in the pile for next week. We're going to watercolor these, okay?